So leaving Egypt behind and getting into sub-Saharan traditions in Africa, what's called naturalistic mimicry was the source of what was going on most theatrically in sub-Saharan traditions in Africa. This was basically the idea of mimicking things in nature. It was performed without masks, but with a really, really lifelike accuracy. And it gives support to that theory of a hunting gathering origin of theater. Let me give you an example. So one example is the idea that before a tribe would go out on an elephant hunt, they would do a really detailed, very festive enactment of a successful elephant hunt. And they would perform that. And then they would go out onto an actual elephant hunt. And the idea would be that if they performed this really detailed successful elephant hunt as a story, and they performed that, and then they went on an actual hunt, then their actual hunt would be more successful if they had done that. If they had done that kind of theatrical ritual beforehand. And so I think it was believed that the more lifelike they made their performance, the better their hunt would be. So it became this tradition to be the most lifelike they could because they wanted a really successful hunt. There's actually an example of one of these types of enactments in Zaire that was found. It was enacted so realistically that the group's dwellings in their tribe were actually they actually like would destroy their dwellings each time because that's what an elephant hunt would do. I mean, if you were in the middle of an elephant hunt, certainly your dwellings would get destroyed in the midst of it. So that they would actually, in their reenactment, they were that devoted to it, to the realism of it, that they would destroy their entire village, and then off they would go on their hunt. And hope for a successful hunt. So this is what's going on in sub-Saharan theatrical traditions. We're looking at naturalistic mimicry as the origin of their theater. And storytelling is also cited as a really important source of theater in sub-Saharan traditions, usually as a way to get all the details concrete in order to remember a really remarkable event that had happened, um, and just kind of make a story really permanent. Just continue to tell the story over and over again, and act it out, and that way make it a story that the tribe could continue to hold on to. Let's move on to the next slide where we'll talk about how masks were actually used. They weren't used in what we've talked about on this slide, but they were used